Hey, what's up, guys? Ryan Miller checking in for GST's YQMA episode number 76. Today's topic is brought to you by the IIFYM Competition Prep Facebook group. Now, Facebook groups are excellent for drumming up material and just conversations with other people with similar interests to your own. And for me, I try not to participate in too many threads on these Facebook groups just because your notifications list just goes crazy for days when every single person replies, because there's a lot of people that reply to these threads and they give their own opinions and their own advice. And so I try to pick and choose the ones that I really think that the person could use some great advice and some great help. Because there's a lot of people that are just on there posting up topics that aren't necessarily asking a question, and I don't really think that they're looking for help. And since my job and what I like to do is I like to help people and inform people and just get people thinking by asking them good questions to get those gears turning in their head and to try and just persuade them into thinking more about why they're asking the question that they're asking, and just to teach them concepts and teach them points and give them advice on solving the questions that they ask. Now, this particular Facebook group thread was all about a girl, and she was essentially trying to fix a problem that didn't exist. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. So she was 10 weeks into her contest prep, and she was making a post asking how she can improve her progress, and because she's worried that she's not going to be ready for her actual contest, her stage day and time, which was another 10 weeks away. And she posted up some before and after pictures, and she had lost a significant amount of fat. It appeared to be doing very well, but she wanted to know what she could do to improve her current contest prep. So a lot of people, they jumped in right away, and they gave their tips and their tricks and their guidance and their advice. And that's what always happens. You get information overload when you ask a question on a popular Facebook group. And so I was reading through these questions, and mainly I was reading through these questions because I wanted to hear the original poster or the OP's reply and her answers to what these other people were asking her, to try to get more information out of her, because she didn't post up her actual progress in terms of numbers. She posted up pictures and said that she's halfway through her prep, but she needs more. She needs more fat loss. She needs to speed things up and hurry up, otherwise she's not going to make her contest date. She's not going to be competitively lean on that stage, which was in 10 weeks. And finally, somebody asked her about her actual numbers, which is what I was about to do, because that's what I like to go to first. It really gets to the root of things quickly. But somebody else did it. And so she mentioned that she had lost around 10 pounds, and she was about 10 pounds into her prep. And so I got a little bit confused. And the reason I got confused is because that's about a pound a week. And for a female in contest prep, that is excellent fat loss. Considering that she was not even extremely overweight to start. She was just a normal girl in a good off season, and she lost 1 pound per week for 10 weeks straight, starting up her contest prep. So I had to jump in right away, and I just had to mention that, you're trying to fix something that isn't broken here. And this is an ongoing problem, and it's a reoccurring problem that I see quite a bit. And the root of this issue, it's not that she is a person that constantly tries to fix things that aren't broken. It's that she chose a show, and she got married to a show date before she knew what was actually going to happen with her contest prep. Now, I don't remember 100%, but I believe this is her first contest prep. And when you're in your first contest prep, it's the most unpredictable. Even if you execute your contest prep perfectly, it's still unpredictable because you just don't know exactly how much fat you have to lose before you get competitively lean. When you have multiple contest preps and years of experience under your belt, then you have a much better idea of, all right, if I'm looking like this at the start of my prep, I'm gonna lose roughly around this amount of pounds. And I know what I'm doing, and in the past I've lost this amount of weight per this amount of time. And so you can estimate pretty accurately how long your contest prep has to take. But as a beginner, as a first-time athlete in a contest prep, it's always the most unpredictable. And the more, or actually I should say, the less you adhere to your program and the less consistent and the less hard you work during your contest prep, the more unpredictable it gets. So you have an initial unpredictable contest prep because it's the first time through, and if you're not somebody that's adhering very well to your prep plan, your timeline extends. The more unpredictable or the less hard-working and consistent and adhering you are to your plan, the longer your prep becomes. Now, you don't know if you're going to be a hard worker right off the bat because it's something that you've never done before. Contest prep is a very challenging thing. It's mentally challenging, and you have to mentally work hard every day, and you have to do that with your nutrition and with your training, because both things get trying and they get difficult as you get to a leaner and leaner state. So just to sum it up, the first time contest preps are unpredictable, but this girl, she had picked her show. She gave herself 20 weeks, and what she was finding out is that she's probably not going to be where she wants to be by that 20th week based on how she's progressing so far. And that's why she wanted to kick it up a notch. So she was asking, how can I kick it up a notch? How can I increase my fat loss? What can I do here, guys? And the problem here is that she was trying to fix something that isn't even broken. Her rate of loss was just fine. The problem was that she was married to this show, and that bottom line, she's just going to have to pick a different show, but she should continue on the same path that she's on. And there's nothing wrong with that. If she can continue to lose that 1 pound per week, she's doing excellent. That's going to slow down a little bit as she gets leaner and leaner. Even if she can continue to lose at a ½ pound a week, she's still doing a great job, and nothing needs to be fixed. So she's going to see this video because I'm going to tag her in it. I remember her name, and it's going to be a great watch for you. I think that you should hear this video, and I really wanted to just talk about the situation that you're in, because you are not the only one in this situation. You're not the only female. You're not the only male. This is it's a root problem with first-time competitors when they're picking a show, and it's okay to pick a show, but you have to know that if things don't go as planned, you need to be able to do another show. You know, you can persevere on. You might just need more time. Don't be exactly married to a show, and don't force your contest prep into a unhealthy method just because you're trying to reach the specific show. I guess if I had to make one point in this entire video, it's that if you do pick a show, no matter what, if you're not going to make it, just accept that you're not going to make it, move on to a different show, and don't try to change your contest prep to meet a date deadline on the calendar. It's not going to end up healthy for you. You're not going to end up looking your best on stage, and you're probably just going to have an overall crappy contest prep experience, and you're never going to do it again because your first experience just sucked. And that's what happens to a lot of people. If it sucks the first time, you usually don't do it again. Take my advice to heart. Everybody else watching this video that's thinking about contest prepping for the first time or in the middle of a first contest prep, take my advice to heart. As you go through your prep, see how things are going. Are you going to make your show? If you're not, that's okay. Are you progressing at an ideal rate? If you are, don't change anything. And that's it, guys. This has been GST's YQMA episode number 76 on contest prep. Thanks again. This has been Ryan Miller with GST's YQMA.